So I think this is a really interesting situation. Panthers fans have to be ecstatic. So, they had pick 6, and then they didn't pick again until like pick 130 something. So this was it was a weird spot where it's like they need a quarterback, but it's a big reach taking one at 6 here just with the quarterbacks available. However, if you don't, well, then what? You're just stuck with Sam Darnold for another year? And that was a legitimate possibility when they decided to select Akeem Ekwanyu, but they said, you know what, we can't reach this much on Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis. Maybe those weren't even the guys they were going for. Matt Corral is someone I really like. I think Matt Corral is a really talented player, and I could see this working out pretty well. He's certainly worth, if nothing else, taking a flyer on. This is good news for Matt Corral. I know it's the Panthers who don't have a great situation, but, they got some weapons. Like, they just added an offensive lineman who should be good. They're not in a horrible spot offensively. I think he'll be able to at least, showcase his talents to some degree. Like, we've seen some, I think, some of the Daniel Jones years, it's like, I don't even know what you're doing because, this is just such a horrible situation. Like, same thing with Justin Fields last year at times, and even Zach Wilson at times. Maybe you'll see that at times with the Panthers, but you should, for the most part, at least see some games where you can just see his talents. And I think he is someone who can translate to the NFL level. I really do. I think that there's been a lot of talk about, he's in a specific system. How well will this system, he's kind of a product of the system. How good is he? And that's fair, but when it comes to quarterbacks, I do pay a lot of attention to traits as opposed to other positions where I care about production, because production doesn't matter with quarterbacks. There's no evidence to support it does. There is evidence to support that production matters at other positions, so I look at production in those positions. With Matt Corral, he's someone who I do think that, he has all of the traits. He's a good athlete, has a cannon of an arm, will miss the deep throw for sure. There are some negatives of him, and if you want to hear more about him, check out my film study I made on him, where I talked, in a little bit more detail about the good and bad of Matt Corral. But, I had him as my quarterback too. I had Willis 1 and Corral 2, and I went back and forth. I had Corral as a mid-first round talent because I think he's that good. And in my little thing where I pretended to be a NFL GM and created my own team on that video, shout out Orlando Ostriches, I had Matt Corral as my quarterback. I drafted him in round 2. He goes here late round 3, so it's good value. And if he sucks, okay, then get a quarterback next year. You're not married to him, right? Same thing with Sam Darnold. You took a chance on him. It didn't work out. All right, that sucked. Let's find another guy. That's the correct move with quarterbacks. You got to keep taking swings until you hit one out of the park, or at least get a double. So, the pitch is coming now. We'll have to see how it works out. But it's good, and part of why I think it's good for Matt Corral as well is he'll get playing time. I don't think they're going to let Sam Darnold be the main guy. I think that they are going to let Matt Corral come in and get some playing time, which that's what you want. If you're a late third-round pick, you just want playing time. He'll get playing time. So interesting stuff. Great move from the Panthers. It's good. They've made some questionable moves these past couple years. Nice to see them get one right, I think. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Matt Corral here late in the third round to the Panthers? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.